Hello and welcome back to a new IELTS Express lesson on Academic Writing Task 1. We have reached lesson number 4 and today we're going to focus on line graphs. We'll be learning language for describing trends and changes and also how to make comparisons. So if you're ready, grab your notepad, give me a thumbs up and let's get started. I have decided starting with this lesson to demarcate the parts of the lesson clearly, and you're going to see there are four parts to the lesson. We've got warm-up, understanding the task, language and content, and then actually planning your summary. So it's going to be easier for you to follow. So first, we have 2 questions for your warm-up, which is about the environment. Environment is a very common and popular topic that is going to be all over the exam in all modules in reading and writing, listening and speaking. So here you've got 2 questions that I would like you to answer. You've got 2 minutes to do so. I think it's a little bit too much, but okay, let's have 2 minutes. If you have a study buddy, then you can practice with them. If not, don't forget to record yourself and then play your recording back and you can assess yourself. Okay, 2 minutes, here we go. All right, time's up. Please let me know what you have answered in the comment section. Okay, now that you are warm up, let's move on to our first part of the lesson, understand the task. We're going to have 9 different activities. Yes, it's going to be quite a lengthy lesson, so bear with me. First, we start with reading the writing task and underlining the keywords. Yeah, we've done this multiple times. You've got 1 minute to do so. Look carefully at the line graph, read the writing task carefully and underline the key words. Okay, so these are the keywords. Now remember that no matter how it doesn't matter how many times you're going to take the IELTS exam, you're going to have the same thing: summarize information, selecting and reporting the main features, and make comparisons where relevant. Okay, we have identified the keywords. We're moving on, and we have the keywords, but what exactly do we have to do? A, B, or C? Okay. Okay, and the correct answer is definitely C. You don't have to explain. You don't have to give reasons why. It's not an analysis. You don't have to make assumptions or to draw conclusions. All you have to do is to write about facts, to summarize the trends and the main features, and to support the main features with data. You're not making an analysis. Okay, moving on to language and content. We're going to focus on the language that we have to use when writing a summary. First of all, I would like you to have a look at these descriptions 1 to 4. Maybe write them down. And then you're going to read the model answer on the next slide, and you have to match the descriptions with the parts. Basically, which is the introduction, which is the overview, which is a description and comparison, which is a description and comparison, the highest and the lowest. We've done this before. Okay? Now remember that there's always the same thing. I mean, we have an introduction, which is the paraphrase of the question. We've got an overview, which comes right after the introduction, which contains the main trends. And then we've got 2 body paragraphs, which contain the main trends, and you make comparisons and you support everything with data from the visual. This is the sample answer. You've got 3 minutes to read it and also to match each paragraph with a part. Okay, time's up, and here are the answers. The first one is the introduction, then the overview, and 2 body paragraphs. Okay, moving on, we have another line graph, a different one, and this time you've got 2 minutes to look at the line graph and answer questions 1 to 6. You've got 2 minutes to do this one, and there's a catch, but I'm going to tell you about it after you finish the activity. Okay? All right, 2 minutes. Okay, now where's the trick here? Sentence 1, 2, 3 mean the same with sentence 4, 5, 6. Sharp fall, falls sharply. Gradual fall, falls gradually. Slight rise, rises slightly. What's the difference here? In 1 and 3, you have adjective plus noun. In 4 to 6, you've got verb plus adverb. And by using this kind of combination, adverbs, adjectives and nouns, and then verbs and adverbs, you show that you have a range of vocabulary. You add variety to your writing. And this is a very good tip that you should use not only in your task 1, but also in task 2 when you're writing essays. All right, we're moving on to the 5th activity. You have to rewrite the sentences. You've got 2 minutes to do so. The sentences will increase in difficulty. I mean, for the first 2, you simply have to write from an adjective to an adverb, and then you have to write half of the sentence, and then for sentences 4 to 7, you have to actually rewrite the whole sentence, but you make sure you change the adjectives into adverbs, and you might also need to make other necessary changes. All right, 2 minutes. It's easy, trust me. Okay, and here are the answers. Be careful with your spelling. When you change from adjectives to adverbs, you might have to drop some vowels, and you might have to change something. All right, we're moving on to activity 6. I would like you to write down these A and B. Describe a trend and make comparison, because you're going to look the same model answer that you have in the previous activities. There are some sentences underlined, and I would like you to decide which describe a trend, which make a comparison. Okay, you've got 1 minute to do so. Okay, so to describe a trend. When you describe a trend, you only give the highlights. You don't get into details. You don't give numbers, data. When you make a comparison, you have to give data. You have to support what you say with numbers from your visual cue. And here, just by looking at it, I have dates 1967 by 2010, and then I have roughly 9 metric tons and nearly 11 metric tons. Okay, all right. Moving on, we are at the last part of our lesson, planning your summary. Okay, so first you've got 1 minute, first of all, to look at this line graph and to underline the key words. Nothing too complicated. We've done this many times, right? 1 minute, here we go. Okay, so what are the keywords? Different sources of air pollutants, UK 1990 to 2005, and of course you have summarize, selecting, reporting, main features, comparisons. I mean, it's the same thing. All right, and now in the very last activity, what I would like you to do is to organize the information you need for your paragraphs. You've got 2 minutes. But I wanted to organize only the information for the body paragraphs where you have to make comparisons. So you're going to write what your first paragraph is going to be, what your main focus is going to be, and then the notes. And then you do the same thing for the second one. And then you're done. I'm going to be out of your hair. All right? 2 minutes for this one. Here we go. All right, time's up. I'm not going to give you a sample answer for this one because I want you to think a little bit, so you can drop your ideas in the comment section. And guess what? You are done. Yay! Give yourself a round of applause. You have finished. Whew! That's brilliant. Now you know how to use language for comparison, and we have also worked on line graphs, which are quite complicated. I think the order is like this. I mean, the most complicated and the trickiest are like tables, and then you have line graph. But we're going to talk about this in different lessons. If you have found this lesson useful, you know what you have to do. Give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends. Thank you very much for watching, and I do hope to see you for our next lesson. Take care. Have a brilliant week ahead. Bye bye.